Now, normally this is your department, but I wanted to have a look at this because I have nicknamed Jacques the groundhog because he's like a groundhog. He hibernates for a while and then he just reappears with something dumb to say and then, nibbles on some stuff and then back down underground he goes. So the reason I call him the groundhog, he reminds me of Punxsutawney Phil. Now, Punxsutawney Phil is the world famous groundhog for predicting the end of winter. So he comes out, I think, in February or something like that, and then if he sees his shadow, it's predicting the end of winter 6 weeks. It's predicting the end of winter, or if he doesn't, then there's 6 weeks more of winter to go. This is an American thing.
I haven't heard that name since watching kids shows when I was little.
so anyway, so that happens in Pennsylvania. So I was like, I wonder if Canada's got a similar thing. So I jumped on the old Google, and it turns out they do. So Canada has a similar tradition, but in typical Kannada form, they don't have one. They've got 3 groundhogs because you couldn't have one to help them predict the end of winter because the season change just isn't enough.
They're Canadian groundhogs. One of them wanted to do it, and he was like, "Oh no, you can come too."
So they've got one called Wyatt and Willie in Ontario. They've got I'm gonna murder this one, but it's Shubenarcade Sam in Nova Scotia.
And then they said Blake Shubalake.
And then they've got Fred La Marmotte in Quebec.
Of course.
So I'm like, Quebec, that sounds familiar. Who else was born in Quebec? And I'm like, Jacques Villenueve was born in Quebec. So, okay, well, that makes sense. So Let me run you through some Jacques facts. Jacques finished his Formula One career at Sauber in 2006 when he was replaced by Robert Kubica at the German Grand Prix. 2007, 2008, if you remember, he went and had a go at NASCAR and was rubbish at it. And he drove at Le Mans for Peugeot. 2009, he launched what ended up being a failed attempt to start a Formula One team called Villeneuve Racing, and it was rejected by the Formula One. And then he kind of disappeared from the scene. Now, in 2010, Fred La Marmotte made his first appearance on Groundhog Day. So 2010, he suddenly turned up. How coincidental that he suddenly turned up in 2010.
So you think he was cooking? He was cooking for that time.
So old Fred kept making appearances every year from 2010 until tragedy struck. Now, Groundhog Day is the 2nd of February every year. On the 1st of February in 2023, tragedy struck and Fred died. So he died the night before he was supposed to come out and tell everyone whether winter was going to keep going or not. And I remember seeing that on the news because they had a little kid do it. Yeah, because the groundhog died. So they had to have someone do it. Yeah. So what a great thing to do. Tell the kid the groundhog's dead and to go and tell everyone whether there's winter or not.
I'm surprised Jacques didn't do that.
However, June 16th, 2023, Canadian Grand Prix. Who reemerges from the shadows into the limelight as a guest commentator? Jacques Villenueve. So, in the words of the famous Monty Python and the Holy Grail sketch, if she weighs the same as a duck, she's made of wood, and therefore a witch. Jacques Villenueve is Fred La Marmotte. He is a groundhog. It is, I've proven it with facts. He is, you can't make it up. He is the groundhog. He was hibernating and then he suddenly reappeared after faking his own death and comes out with these pearlers that Oscar Piastri is the favoured child of Formula One. Well, fuck me. Go back
into your groundhog.
Go back into your post and let them bring you out again in February, mate, because you were doing a much better job then.
That whole time, I was like, oh, you really need the tinfoil hat. But no, there is facts behind this.
It all adds up.
It all adds up. There is no open doors here that as a theory. This is a proven. Yeah, okay, I'm on board.
So Jacques Villenueve is actually a Fred. His name is Fred La Marmotte. So we're just going to call him Fred from now on.
Yep.
And it fits as well for the stupid crap that he comes out with like that. How is Oscar Piastri F1's golden child, other than them thinking, great, we've got somebody, which will lead into our next topic of conversation, but great, we've got somebody who's going to, give it to Max, so we've got that battle back again.
Yeah, no. Yes. You are.
I couldn't believe
that was incredible.
I couldn't believe the chain. I just kept finding. I was like, "This is unbelievable." He is a groundhog.
You just opened one door, closed another, and opened another door. Like it just kept going. That was good. Thank you for keeping that from me too. I appreciate that. I
wanted to get your genuine reaction to finally understanding that my nickname actually is Truth.
Yeah. No.
So